The last part here is, how do I help my husband and daughter do the same? So how to help them to stop or slow the cycle of anger and dysregulation, basically. And like the answer is to be self-regulated first. You can't make them stop. You can't, that's out of your control. But you can absolutely be self-regulated. If not right now, eventually. Generational trauma, in my opinion, stops when someone is self-regulated enough and then refuses to continue those patterns that lead to more generational trauma. And again, I work with a lot of teenagers who are able to see these dynamics in real in real time, and then through therapy can say, I don't want to do this for my own kids. This stops with me. And that can look a lot of different ways, but that's something I hear from my teen clients a lot is, this stops with me. And I'm going to, like, they realize when I'm self-regulated, that's when I can make the best decisions that I possibly can. And that will directly impact my own kids in the future. So generational trauma stops when someone's self-regulated enough, and I would encourage every single one of us to be that person. But that only comes from doing your own self-regulation growth, practice, your own work. That's where it comes from. It kind of has to come from you, not from anybody else. Your kids will see you doing that, and they will learn from that. Not just from they're watching you. Maybe they will be, but it's more like they'll see you modeling appropriate behaviors, which come from your own self-regulation. So they'll feed off that. Kids feed off that. They need to see appropriate modeling of what we want out of them, not just what we say we want, but what we model for them, what we want. Does that make sense? They will learn way better from what you model versus what you say. If you tell them not to swear, but you swear up a storm, don't be surprised if they swear. If you tell them not to hit, but you spank them at home, don't be surprised. So they'll learn from your modeling, good or bad, good or bad. And this is extremely important. And your modeling has to come from, or I would recommend that it does come from, a self-regulated, a well-regulated state. And that's from your safety, having access to your safety state. On top of that, if you're able to self-regulate, then that might bleed over to your, not just your kids, but anybody else in your home. And that's co-regulation. Just you being self-regulated does not solve everything. I know, I get it. And it is not up to you to fix your spouses or anybody else in your life. You're absolutely right. It is not up to you to do that. But it is up to you as a parent to be a part of fixing the system that you are a part of. And that has to start with you. Yeah, it does start with your significant other if you have somebody in your life. Ideally, it's a tandem. It's the two of you working together to address the system of the family. Absolutely. But I don't know if that's possible in your life, and you may have to start with just you. Or the other person in your life may think that they're being a part of the solution and they aren't. We can't coerce people to do that. We can't fix them. We can't tell them how to be. We start with ourselves first. And like I said in episode, I think it was like 126 or so, where I talk more deeply about this, like, we don't control the people. We ultimately only can control, or seemingly control, ourselves. So I would start there. I would start with yourself. And that self-regulation will affect other people. It will. I have no idea what that looks like. I'm not saying that'll fix life's problems, but that has to be kind of where you start. It doesn't solve everything. It's not up to you to fix your spouses, I know. But you are a part of the system and you are a parent in the home. So that is absolutely your responsibility. That's something you have to embrace. And you're part of that.